Veganism is often marketed as the ultimate healthy, ethical, and environmentally friendly lifestyle. But the truth is far murkier. Beyond the feel-good messaging lies a deeper agenda. The push to normalize ultra-processed foods, genetically modified organisms, GMOs, and most dangerously, seed oils. Let's get real about seed oils. These oils, like canola, soybean, and sunflower oil, are a staple in vegan products. But here's the kicker. They're highly processed, chemically extracted, and often contain harmful levels of omega-6 fatty acids. Excessive omega-6 can cause inflammation, which is linked to heart disease, obesity, and autoimmune disorders. A diet high in these oils tips the balance between omega-6 and omega-3, leading to chronic health issues. What's worse? The modern food industry is practically shoving seed oils into everything, especially vegan substitutes, because they're cheap to produce. Take a look at processed vegan foods. Your veggie burgers, vegan cheeses, and plant-based nuggets are all filled with seed oils, along with other questionable ingredients. They may have fewer calories or lower cholesterol, but the long-term effects of consuming these fake foods are often overlooked. Vegan diets that lean on these processed foods lead to the very issues they claim to solve: obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. Next, let's talk about GMOs. Plant-based products are often made from GMO crops like soy, corn, and wheat. The irony? While veganism claims to be natural and healthy, it's pushing food that's heavily manipulated in labs. GMOs are designed to resist pests and produce larger yields, but they come at a cost. Studies suggest potential links between GMOs and issues like gut health problems, allergies, and even cancer. Sure, some will argue there's no conclusive evidence, but do you really want to gamble with your health on that? But here's where things get really interesting. Why the big push for veganism? The answer lies in the profit margins. Processed plant-based products are cheaper to produce and highly profitable. Big food companies are banking on the vegan trend to push more GMOs and seed oils onto the masses. While the traditional meat and dairy industries are complex and costly to sustain, it's much easier for corporations to crank out soy-based patties and almond milk loaded with additives. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition pointed out that vegans, while often lower in certain risk factors like cholesterol, also have lower levels of essential nutrients like vitamin B12, iron, and omega-3. These deficiencies can lead to a host of problems: fatigue, brain fog, muscle weakness, and even more serious issues like anemia or neurological damage. Supplementing these nutrients artificially doesn't always work because the body absorbs them differently from whole food sources. The push for veganism isn't just about ethics or health. It's about control over what we eat. By driving people toward a plant-based lifestyle reliant on GMOs and processed foods, the industry gains more power over our food supply. Traditional animal farming requires land, labor, and resources that big food can't as easily control. But plant-based, mass-produced products? That's easy to monopolize and regulate. It's a brilliant business model, but at what cost to human health? The environmental argument for veganism is also not as black and white as it seems. Sure, cutting down on meat reduces carbon emissions in theory, but think about the massive amounts of pesticides, fertilizers, and water used to grow the monoculture crops needed for mass vegan food production. These practices deplete soil health and contribute to deforestation just like animal farming does. And when those crops are GMO-based, we're talking about even more environmental risks like pesticide-resistant superweeds and a loss of biodiversity. A balanced approach to eating, One that includes ethically raised animals and sustainably farmed plants makes far more sense for health and the environment than going all in on veganism. Many traditional diets around the world, like the Mediterranean diet or Japanese diet, emphasize whole foods, minimal processing, and a balance of plant and animal products. Veganism, in its modern form, has been hijacked by corporations looking to push processed, profit-driven foods onto the masses. Instead of being a natural, holistic choice, it's become just another cog in the machine of big food. So before you reach for that plant-based burger made with GMO soy and drenched in seed oils, ask yourself, who's really benefiting from this shift? It's probably not you. At the end of the day, we need to be critical about what we're being fed, both literally and ideologically. Veganism might look good on the surface, but when you dig deeper, it's clear there's more harm than good coming from the rise of plant-based everything. Don't fall for the marketing hype. Look at the ingredients, question the motivations, and make choices that genuinely benefit your health, not the bottom line of food conglomerates.